Are we being denied good health so that Big Pharma can make money? Well, this is an incredible topic, and I came across this interview with Russell Brand the other day, and it was very interesting, not only the topics they were talking about, but the overall arching concept of this video couldn't pertain more to the present moment in time. And so before we dive into this, I'm Dr. Zarowski. Welcome to the channel. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also put your thoughts in the comments below. To get all my interviews and just natural health videos in general, go to www.drz.tv. Now, I first want to kick this off by listening to what he has to say, and then talking about some statistics as to what our challenges are in healthcare and also fighting off Big Pharma in today's world. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
I think that you're you enjoy, as do I, scientific discoveries, scientific method, and scientific representation of data precisely because of the empiricism. But I also like the conjecture around mystery and the idea that in our pursuit of modernity, under the auspices of the myth of progressivism, we have discarded information that would be valuable to us as individuals that has only been neglected because it's difficult to commodify and to turn into a product.
I believe that some of that is true. I heard from various researchers, I won't name them, again, at top institutions, they said that the reason why more people aren't hearing about this is you can't make money off of breathing. It's really hard. This is something free. It's available to everyone, everywhere. We carry around our breath with us all day long, all night long, and we can hone that and really get some benefits from it.
So in this interview, they're talking about breathing techniques and how you can use breathing techniques that are taught by monks and taught by guys like Wim Hof, following the Wim Hof breathing method to improve your health naturally. Now, the interesting part of this whole interview here is that as we look at the current state of healthcare in general, we are seeing an absolute war on everyone's health. Now, first of all, let me say this. With the current crisis we're dealing with the COVID stuff, if you can hardly call it a crisis, but let's just say with the current situation, one of the things that we've seen is that the National Institute of Health, the CDC, the WHO, nobody has said a word about taking vitamin D, about taking zinc, about getting regular exercise, eating healthy, avoiding sugar, which depresses your immune system. Not a word. But instead, what they told people to do is wait for the shot, okay? Now, the thing is that's crazy about it is that all these things I mentioned are either free, or they're free in the way of you just making better choices, or they cost little to nothing, right? But what they would rather have you believe is that humans aren't incapable of surviving without Big Pharma. Now, if we don't understand history and we don't have, any common sense, then we aren't capable of looking back on history and knowing that the human race has survived all these years without the intervention from Big Pharma. In fact, third world countries in many cases are far healthier than places like the United States. And how is it? We have the best medical system, right? We have all this amazing technology. Now, is this technology hurting us or is it actually benefiting us? That's the question. Now, the other thing that we have to take into consideration here, and by the way, I'm just using this as a placeholder, this page right here. This is where I keep all my videos, drz.tv. You can find everything that I cover on this website. The other thing that we have to look at in general when we look at our health is that these companies are trying to convince us that we are incapable of surviving without their intervention, right? We need a shot every year in order to protect us from this virus, this new threat, that virus. Why is that? Why aren't we just capable of surviving on our own? Does anybody know why that's no longer a possibility? Let's look at some of the general statistics, all right? Because if you're somebody, let's say you're challenging me and you say, well, Dr. Zarowski, you're wrong. These medical advances have done so many great things, which, by the way, medical advances have done many great things, but also they've done many horrible and harmful things that are an absolute detriment to society. But let's say you're challenging me and you're saying, Dr. Zarowski, you're wrong. Everything has gotten better. Let me give you a few statistical facts, okay? 50% of the entire industrial population has one or more chronic disease, okay? If you're asking what chronic disease is, think of them this way. I'll mention a few. Chronic pain, fatigue, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, digestive disorders, cancer, emotional problems like anxiety and depression, learning disabilities. Look at all the children out there with learning disabilities now, right? Allergies, skin problems, infertility, low sex drive, sleep disorders, and the list goes on and on and on. It seems to never end, okay? 50% of the people in the industrial population suffer from one or more of these problems. 80% of the adults in the industrial population have one chronic condition. 55% have two or more chronic conditions. Now, according to the American Medical Association, childhood illness and chronic disease has quadrupled over the past 4 decades. And 30% of healthcare spending has zero benefit. Zero benefit. Can you believe that? And we're living in a society with amazing medical technology that's drastically improving everybody's life? I don't think so. I don't think so. And why are they not telling us things that we can do to drastically improve our health? And instead, they're actually keeping it from us and then telling us if we're not buying a product from them or buying something that's going to artificially go in and increase our immunity, then we're literally not going to survive. When we look at medical spending, it's the leading cause of individual, corporate, and government bankruptcy. Okay? Sit on that for a moment. Okay, so we have this amazing medical system. It's bankrupting people. They just aren't telling you the things that you need to do. Exercise, eat right, take your proper vitamins, and get the proper nutrients that your body needs. They're not telling you any of these things. Prescription drug spending has increased 55 times between 1960 and 2010. 55% of people take 4 meds on average. Pretty incredible. 55% of people take 4 or more meds on average. Isn't that crazy? So when we look at this situation, we have to realize things aren't getting better, things are getting worse. And we're being convinced that we cannot survive without Big Pharma. We're being convinced that our immune systems are completely incapable of survival without Big Pharma. So this is something to ponder a little bit, something to think about. As I mentioned, when I saw this interview with Russell Brand, I thought to myself, man, wow, that's a deep topic. Now, the topic itself that he brought up about Big Pharma holding back information in order to profit, governments holding back information in order to profit, right? The National Institute of Health had no business not going and telling people immediately when COVID hit, hey, look, you know what? You need to make sure you're taking adequate amounts of vitamin D. We can use things like zinc. You can boost your immune system. If you're overweight, it's very, very bad. We need to solve the obesity problem, which is climbing to up over 50% by 2030. That's the estimation. These are the things that mattered, but instead they held all of that from us. They didn't say a word. Mum's the word. The only way that you got that information is going to websites like mine, like drzee.tv. And so we have to think about this, and we have to make sure that not only we ourselves are doing the right thing in order to improve our health, but we're also there to make sure our families are doing the right thing to improve their health. Our loved ones, our children, our parents. We need to make sure that they have the proper information in order to improve their health naturally. And we have to understand that health comes from within. Our bodies genetically are always striving for better health. Okay, and all those horrible statistics I just mentioned, genetically, the human body hasn't changed. We are not changing genetically. The only thing that is changing is that we're looking in the wrong direction for health. The lack of pharmaceuticals does not equal poor health. More pharmaceuticals do not equal better health. And we have to understand that. And we have to remember that our body genetically is always striving for better health. And that's how the human species has survived for this long. If we believe the premise that medicine teaches, the dogma that medicine teaches, that our bodies are innately flawed and that we cannot survive without pharmaceutical intervention, good luck. Because you can go and look in third world countries and they have better health statistics than we do here in the United States. Something to think about. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And also be sure to share www.drz.tv with your family and friends, where you can learn everything you need to know to improve your health naturally. I do tons of great interviews on there. Recently we did some great interviews on detoxification. I had Dr. Shane Morris on here. There's an interview right here with him. We talk detoxification. We talk about how to eat properly. We talk about how to boost your immune system. I mean, everything you can imagine. Even we talk about current health news. And so check that out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.